Just because something is natural, it doesn't mean that it's good. Or at least that's what we're told by internet doctors, dietitians, and vegans. It's one of the most repeated statements in modern science, and all it intends to do is to reduce the argument that nature is healthy down to nothing.
So I was called out by Raw Returned, who blocked me before I even knew he existed. I'm school. Firstly, the reason the appeal to nature fallacy is a regularly repeated statement in the science communication space is because people like him regularly commit it. It's scientific fact. Just because something is natural doesn't make it healthy. Arsenic, food mold, parasites, foxglove plant, those are all natural. Are they healthy to consume? No. So in this long YouTube video, he basically explains how the appeal to nature fallacy is misused because the philosopher G.E. Moore, who coined the term, used it in moral philosophy to argue that you cannot derive good from natural. But this is not a valid critique because the fallacy itself evolved. The appeal to nature fallacy is recognized across logic, science communication, and philosophy today. Fallacies evolve into broader categories. So a term originating in ethics is now used for general reasoning errors. It's like saying because Hume originally wrote about what you cannot logically conclude what ought to be done based solely on observations of the world, also referred to as is-ought arguments in ethics, that means all of a sudden you cannot apply that logic outside of ethics. Of course you can. Fallacies apply across fields. So yes, the appeal to nature fallacy still applies perfectly when someone says we didn't have seagulls 200 years ago, therefore they're bad.
Poison dart frogs are natural, but we wouldn't start eating poison dart frogs because we know better. The point is, for something to be considered natural for humans, it has to align naturally with our biology.
Perfect, now we're getting somewhere. So he acknowledges that not everything natural is healthy for us and it has to align with our human biology. Okay, so how do we figure out what aligns with human biology? By looking at nature? By guessing? By observing cavemen? No, we do it through science. The study of toxicology, physiology, epidemiology, and clinical trials. That is literally the point. If you admit that poison dart frogs are natural but unhealthy, and you know that because of science, then you also have to admit that you cannot rely on natural equals good for anything else either. You can't reject scientific evidence when it comes to sunscreen, seed oils, or pasteurization, and then embrace science when it tells you that poison dart frogs will kill you in 12 seconds. That's just selective reasoning. The irony here is that the moment you say it has to align with human biology, you've just agreed to the scientific method. Class dismissed.